All right. In advanced material, page number 32, inverse trigonometric functions. Second question, anybody any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Fourth question. All of you know how to find sin inverse sin 10 and cos inverse cos 10 values, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No doubt. Okay. Sixth question. Okay. Sixth one I'll explain. Somebody is asking. Okay, sixth one, somehow I can manage the answer, but I want to tell it thoroughly. Okay. I know tan inverse 2x by 1 minus x square formula changes at -1 and 1. And the tan inverse 3x minus x cube by 1 minus 3x square changes at -1 by root 3, 1 by root 3. I can substitute a few values and somehow manage, but let us do it thoroughly. Okay. On the number line, I want to take 1 by root 3, 1, minus 1 by root 3 and minus 1. Okay. Let us see in each of the interval, okay, what will happen to LHS and what will happen to RHS. First of all, if you take this, LHS will be tan inverse x plus tan inverse 2x by 1 minus x square is also 2 tan inverse x. No cases here. Directly it is 3 tan inverse x. Maybe I can even write some slightly different here. Okay. I'm going to write LHS here and RHS here in each cases. LHS and RHS. Okay. First of all, between -1 to 1, anywhere you take. Okay. The formula for LHS will be tan inverse 2x by 1 minus x square will be 2 tan inverse x. So we'll, all these things will get tan inverse x plus 2 tan inverse x, which will be 3 tan inverse x. So here also LHS is 3 tan inverse x. Here also it is 3 tan inverse x. Here also it is 3 tan inverse x. But once you cross 1, tan inverse 2x by 1 minus x square formula is 2 tan inverse x minus pi, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Tan inverse 2x by 1 minus x square, we have three cases. Between -1 to 1 formula, after 1 formula, before -1 another formula. So here it will be tan inverse x, but tan inverse 2x by 1 minus x square will be 2 tan inverse x minus pi, which will be 3 tan inverse x minus pi. When you take before -1, tan inverse x is tan inverse x only, but tan inverse 2x by 1 minus x square formula is 2 tan inverse x plus pi. So it will become 3 tan inverse x plus pi. So LHS between -1 to 1 it is this, after 1 it is this, before -1 it is this, at 1 and -1 it is not defined. Coming to RHS, between these two it is directly 3 tan inverse x, of course pi plus. So it is pi plus 3 tan inverse x. But once you cross 1 by root 3, here or here, it is 3 tan inverse x minus pi. So it will be pi plus 3 tan inverse x minus pi. When you cancel, you will be left with 3 tan inverse x. Here also same, pi plus 3 tan inverse x minus pi. When you cancel, it will be 3 tan inverse x. Whereas before -1 by root 3, here or here, it is 3 tan inverse x plus pi, which will be 2 pi plus 3 tan inverse x. Here also same, 2 pi plus 3 tan inverse x, both here and here. Okay. So we found LHS separately, RHS separate. Here LHS and RHS are not equal. Here they are equal. Here also they are not equal. Here they're not equal, here they're not equal. So only thing they're equal is between 1 by root 3 and 1. Okay. So option B. Is it okay, sixth one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Even if they change the question also, we can still do it. Okay. We are able to find all the different answers. In fact, I can bring the tan inverse 3x minus x cube by 1 by 3x squared to LHS and find in different cases what will be the answer. So finally this and this. That is between 1 by root 3 to 1. P. Reshmita, what is that you don't know?
Nothing, sir.
Okay. Okay. Anybody doubt about 10th question?
Eighth one, sir.
Sorry, after that 8th one. Okay. Anybody doubt about 8th one?
Yes, sir. Eighth one.
You put x equal to tan theta, directly look on half of tan inverse x.
Yes, sir.
Because 1 plus tan square theta is secant square theta. You'll get secant theta minus 1 by tan theta. That is 1 minus cos theta by sin theta, and which is tan theta by 2, and you will get theta by 2, and which is half tan inverse x. So lambda is half. Simply put x equal to tan theta. Okay, you'll get it.
Yes,
And
sir.
no cases. Only case is x should not be 0. That's all. X can be negative, positive. Everything is covered there. X should not be 0. Okay, 8th one. Anybody else want me to write detailed solution, or is it okay?
No, sir, no need.
No need. Okay. Any doubt about 10th one? No. We already discussed why lambda is negative. Because lambda is negative, tan inverse 1 by lambda is not cot inverse lambda. Rather, it is cot inverse lambda minus pi or something. Then you'll get pi by 2 minus pi by 2. Or in the class, I gave formula that when lambda is positive, it is plus pi by 2. When lambda is negative, this is minus pi by 2. Anybody doubt about 12th one?
Yes, sir. 12th one.
Yes, sir. 12th one.
Enough time is given. I hope everybody tried all these questions. Okay, 12th one. It looks like a nice quadratic equation which I can split easily. Okay. In the first two terms, I can take cot inverse x common. I'll be left with tan inverse x plus 2 minus pi by 2. In the next two things, I can take minus 3 common. Then I'll get a tan inverse x plus 2 minus pi by 2 greater than 0. This and this are same. If I take common, I'll get tan inverse x plus 2 minus pi by 2 into cot inverse x minus 3 equal to 0. Sorry, not equal to, greater than 0. Okay, now actually from these two, if I take minus common, pi by 2 minus tan inverse x is cot inverse x. 2 minus pi by 2 minus tan inverse x into cot inverse x minus 3 is greater than 0. This is actually cot inverse x. 2 minus cot inverse x into cot inverse x minus 3 greater than 0. I'll multiply with minus. I'll get cot inverse x minus 2 into cot inverse x minus 3 is less than 0. based on our regular quadratic inequality, we know whenever x minus alpha into x minus beta greater than 0, x should be more than beta or less than alpha. Whenever it is less than 0, x should be between alpha beta. So 2 less than cot inverse x less than 3. Doesn't mean it will be between cot 2 and cot 3. It may be reverse cot 3 and cot 2. The reason is, if you remember cot inverse x graph, is for all real numbers and it is a decreasing function. You are right, like this. When is cot inverse between 2 and 3? That's what we wanted to know. And where this is cot inverse means pi by 2. This is 2 here and this is 3 somewhere here. This will be cot 2 actually, and this will be cot 3. So x should be between, if you want this piece, that cot inverse x should be between 2 and 3, x should be between cot 3 and cot 2. Even cot is a decreasing function. Forget to cot inverse. You don't need to know about cot inverse x graph. I can apply cot also on both sides. If you look at cot graph, it will be like this. Okay, well, because it is decreasing, when you apply cot, inequality reverses. So cot 3 is less than cot of cot inverse x. I'm applying cot everywhere. Cot inverse x less than cot 2. So that is cot 3 less than x less than cot 2. That's it. That is the answer. Main thing is carefully recognizing. You can take something common, and then it is like a quadratic expression in terms of cot inverse x. Okay, next we'll discuss 14. I'm sure some people might have done, but little tricky. One has to do carefully. Okay, is it clear 12th one? Anybody still have doubt?
Wait, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Over, sir.
Okay. Okay, 14. Integer part of something is 1 means it is anything between 1 and 2. 1 or 1.2 or 1.3 up to 1.999 so on. So closed 1 to open 2. So I think directly from the given question I can write 1 less than or equal to sine inverse, cos inverse, sin inverse, tan inverse. Okay, sine inverse, cos inverse, sine inverse, tan inverse x is less than 2. As long as something is closed 1 to open 2, the integer part will be 1, and they want complete set of values of x. Okay, fine. Sine inverse of something, when it will be between 1 and 2. Here you have to be little careful here. Can sine inverse of something can go up to 2?
No, sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No, sir.
Maximum value of sine inverse of whatever you take will be pi by 2, which is around 1.57. So it is not that I'll directly apply a sine and write sine 1 and sine 2 here. That is meaningless. Okay. It is like asking if somebody says sine inverse x is between 30 degrees and 150 degrees. Anyone want to tell what is the answer? When is sin inverse x is between 30 and 150? No.
When x is between 0 and 190.
No.
0 to pi.
No.
0 to 1. When x is between.
0 to 1. Yes. No, not even 0 to 1. Sin inverse 0 is 0 and 30 degrees it is.
Sir, 0 to half, sir.
Come on.
Sir, 1 by 2 to 1, sir.
1 by 2 to 1.
Sir, 1 by 2.
Yeah, more than 30 possible, but sin inverse x value cannot go up to 150. Maximum value of sin inverse x is 90.
1.
Even
90.
though they gave 150, nothing wrong in giving. Okay, because it's up to 90, it's also up to 150, less than 150. Okay, now when you apply sine, you get 1 by 2 less than equal to x less than equal to 1. Whereas earlier, if you apply directly, this will come 1 by 2 and this will come 1 by 2. You should say x is between 1 by 2 and 1 by 2, which is first of all, applying sine itself will be wrong because these are the some values that we are dealing with of sine inverse x. In the same way, right in the beginning, one should not simply apply sine here and sine here, but understand sine inverse of whatever you take, maximum will be pi by 2, which is 1.57. Beyond that, it cannot go. So I'm going to write 1 less than or equal to sine inverse, cos inverse, sine inverse, tan inverse x less than or equal to pi by 2. Beyond that, up to 2, it cannot cover. Now, sine is an increasing function, so you can apply sine, not a problem. It will be sine 1 less than or equal to cos inverse, sine inverse, tan inverse x less than or equal to 1. Or sine pi by 2 you can write if you want. Okay, sine 1 we don't know. Around 1 radian is around 57.2 degrees, so we don't know the value. You have to keep it as sine 1 less than or equal to cos inverse, sine inverse, tan inverse x less than or equal to 1. Okay. Next, when will cos inverse of something is between 1 and something? Okay. Cos is a decreasing function because if you look at the principal values of cos, it is this pass that much. So when you apply cos, the inequality reverses. Okay. So here, from here to here, I applied sine, no problem, same inequality. So when I apply cos, I will be getting cos 1 here, that is cos of this, less than or equal to sine inverse of tan inverse x, less than or equal to cos of sine 1. Okay, please understand the inequality got reversed because cos is a decreasing function. As long as a less than x less than b and a, x, b are within the principal values, you can apply sine, cos, tan, anything, no problem, provided everything should be within the principal values. That is very, very important. Okay. If they're outside the principal values, we have to carefully see what is happening. But within the principal values, you can apply, no problem. But sine and tan are increasing functions, so same inequality. If you want to apply cos as a decreasing functions, it will be inequality reverses. You will get cos b less than cos x less than cos a. So we are applying sine, sine a less than sine x less than sine b. Okay. So this everything within the principal values of sine, because cos of something is between -1 to 1, this also between -1 to 1. I can apply sine now, and sine is an increasing function, so inequality will not change. So just simply apply sine. Sine of cos 1 less than or equal to tan inverse x less than or equal to sine of cos of sine 1. Then you apply tan also, you will get tan of sine of cos 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to tan of sine of cos of sine 1. Okay, so finally it is this. So right in the first step, there is a small trick. You cannot directly apply sine. You have to understand this. Sachinani is clear. 14th one. Okay, if
Sir,
meeting
from
ends,
fourth-
if meeting
So from
ends, you
fourth-
rejoin again. Yes, Rhythm Day, tell.
Sir, from fourth step to fifth step.
Fourth step to fifth step. I applied cos everywhere. Okay, but cos is a decreasing function. Cos of this will come here and cos of this will come here. I was giving the example that when a less than b less than c and they are within between 0 to pi principal values, when you apply cos, you will not get cos a less than cos b less than cos c. Wrong. Rather, you will get cos c less than cos b less than cos a. Why? Look at cos graph. Let us say a is here, b is here, c is here. Cos a, cos b, cos c, which will be bigger?
Cos A.
Okay, a is smaller, but cos a is bigger.
Yes, sir.
So that's what cos c will be less than cos b less than cos a.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay, somebody asking in the chart something that increasing decreasing functions they wanted to know. If two functions you are adding where both are increasing, it is very easy. In the beginning it is the smallest value, at the end it is greatest value. If both are decreasing, in the beginning greatest, at the end smallest. But if one is increasing, one is decreasing, there's some, will it increase or decrease or it will oscillate? All those things we will study in calculus. After differentiation is over, we will study application of derivatives. One of the chapter name itself is increasing and decreasing functions. There you will understand thoroughly. Does Saketram still have doubt or is it any still problem?
No, sir. 16th one, sir. My net is lagging a bit.
Okay. Maybe Sitaram, you are clear, right? Speaker Sitaram, is it clear everything? Okay, I hope others are clear. Samskriti Raut, are you in the class? Snigdha, are you there in the class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you completed this question before?
No, sir. Now I got
Is it
only
clear?
half of it. Now I understood.
All right, okay. Saptarshi Mandal, is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, 16th one. It is sine inverse x plus x square plus 4x plus 1. I want to make perfect square. Generally, quadratic expression, when you find perfect square, when you make it perfect square, you can find the range easily. So, it is x plus 2 whole square minus 3. I have to add 3 and subtract 3 and write like that. Okay. Sine and first of all, whenever you are finding the range, I always said first find the domain. Because sin inverse x is there, the domain is closed interval -1 to 1. So domain belongs to -1 to 1. In closed interval -1 to 1, this is an increasing function, this is an increasing function. Okay. Sin inverse x is increasing from -pi/2 to pi/2. And x plus 2 whole square is also increasing because when x is between -1 to 1, x plus is between 1 to 3. You take any number between 1 to 3, square it, it will increase from 1 to 9. Okay, because this is increasing, the total final minimum, okay, is it f of x? Yeah, f of x. So f minimum will be -pi/2 plus 1 minus 3, which is -pi/2 minus 2. And f maximum is at 1, which is pi/2 plus 9 minus 3, which is pi/2 plus 6. So the range is a -pi/2 minus 2 and pi/2 plus 6. Mainly we are able to do easily because we have sum of two functions which both are increasing or both are decreasing. One is increasing, one is decreasing. We need a better knowledge to do that question. It's okay. Somebody said mic is not working. Anybody doubt about 18th question?
The 18th question.
Okay. Okay, 16. Anybody still any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, 18. Sin inverse x is always between -pi/2 to pi/2. First of all, x is between -1 to 1 for question to be defined. Sin inverse x is between -pi/2 to pi/2. Between -pi/2 to pi/2, if you want a tan of some value should be more than 1, means it should be more than 45, or even less than -1 to -45 also is okay. Because if you look at the tan x graph, it will be like this. But if you look at tan square x graph, it will be like this. If you want it to be, this is -1 and 1. If you want to be more than 1, this piece and this piece. That is this whole thing and this whole thing. Anything more than 1, this is graph of tan x, by the way. This is graph of tan square x. So tan x will be more than 1, or tan square x will be more than 1 after 45 or before -45. So based on that, I can write tan square sin inverse x is greater than 1 implies sin inverse x is greater than pi/4 or sin inverse x is less than -pi/4. From that, we'll get x greater than sin pi/4 1/√2 or x less than minus 1 by root 2. This will give you 1 by root 2 to infinity. This will give you, no, minus 1 to minus of union, this 1 by root 2, sorry. Minus 1 to minus 1 by root 2 union 1 by root 2 to 1. Oh, sorry. This is open, this is closed. Yeah. One very important point here. Yes, x should be closed interval minus 1 to 1, but there's a small mistake. When x is 1, it will become pi by 2 and tan pi by 2 is not acceptable. It will not be defined. So first of all, the domain of the question is x belongs to open interval minus 1 to 1, not closed interval. Because at that time, sin inverse x will be open interval minus pi to pi by 2. Otherwise, so I should write open here. Okay, it should be more than pi by 4 means obviously it should be less than pi by 2. So let me write it more clearly. I should write minus pi by 2 less than sin inverse x less than minus pi by 4, or greater than pi by 4 means pi by 4 less than sin inverse x less than pi by 2. This is minus 1 less than x less than minus 1 by root 2, or 1 by root 2 less than x less than 1. So x belongs to open interval minus 1 to minus 1 by root 2 union 1 by root 2 to 1, which also can be written as open interval minus 1 to 1 minus closed interval minus 1 by root 2 to 1 by root 2. Of course, there is another way to do this. It is possible to find tan of sin inverse x easily. Once again, domain you have to understand, no doubt. Okay. After that, x belongs to minus 1 to 1. But if you take sin inverse x as theta, x will be sin theta. And because square is there, I don't have to worry about plus or minus. Even then, this is x, this is 1, this is root 1 minus x square. So it is easy to write sin inverse x is same as tan inverse x by root 1 minus x square. Now coming to the question, tan of sin inverse x with a square should be less than 1. Tan sin inverse x is this, so you'll get x by root 1 minus x square whole square is less than 1. X square by 1 minus x square less than 1. I can say denominator that side, nothing wrong, because I already know x is between minus 1 to 1. 1 minus x square is positive. Because it is positive, I can send that side. If not, bring 1 this side, not a big issue. X square by 1 minus x square minus 1 is less than 0. You will get 2x square minus 1 by 1 minus x square less than 0. Because denominator is positive, nothing to worry. I have to only worry about x square minus 1 by 2 less than 0. The question is greater than, sorry. Yeah, the question is greater than 1, greater than 1, greater than. Okay, now this is x minus 1 by root 2 into x plus 1 by root 2 greater than 0. You take the number line minus 1 by root 2 to 1 by root 2. Okay, plus minus plus. So, not visible. More than 1 by root 2, okay? Less than minus 1 by root 2, okay? Obviously, it should be within minus 1 to 1. So 1 by root 2 to 1. So after that also, you can get the same step. Then you can get answer. You can do like this or you can do like this. Okay, the inverse trigonometry, some parts of the lesson are easy. Okay, in the class we done so many questions. In the beginning, things were very, very easy. But at the end, when we discussed about the cases of sin inverse 2x by 1 plus x square and tan inverse 2x by 1 plus x square, some people may have some issues with them. And many of us done IP. Okay, I think there's not much of a confusion except for hardly 3-4 questions you could do everything, isn't it?
Last Roman. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So only few questions and especially some questions in advanced material. It look a little confusing or somebody will think how to get ideas. Okay, all that. Yeah, some questions are like that, but I think when we discuss together, you will get a better idea and you'll be able to do more confidently. And regarding question number 22 and 24, yeah, some questions of writing as method difference is easy, but some questions you have to very carefully do it. Okay, so in the mains material we've done two or three questions. Here I've done another 2 questions. So from that you should be able to get enough idea about it. Anyway, as I said, most of the first 8 topics, when you again prepare for intermediate, you will get a better confidence once again. And in second year, when we revise all these topics, again, you'll get much more confidence. So everything has to be done in 2 or 3 times so that you'll be able to do much more comfortably. Okay, this is 20. So 20 I have to discuss. Somebody asked 20 already. First of all, fractional part of x. I think I discussed about integer part of x and fractional part of x thoroughly. We all know fractional part of x graph will be somewhat like this. It always oscillates from 0 to 1. Okay, it will be minimum 0, maximum open interval 1. So sin inverse fractional part of x is always defined, no problem. Cos inverse fractional part of x is always defined, and their sum is pi by 2 for all x values. Okay, so sin inverse fractional part of x plus cos inverse fractional part of x is equal to pi by 2 for all x belongs to R, since fractional part of x belongs to closer to 0 to open 1. As long as it's between -1 to 1, we don't have an issue. Now it is quite simple. Your f of x is cot inverse fractional part of minus x, okay, plus pi by 2. Fractional part of x is there, 5x is there, minus x there, doesn't matter for us. This is between 0 to 1. That's what is important. Okay. Fractional part of minus x belongs to closer to 0 to open 1 only. Whether it is 5x or 2x or 7x or 9x plus 3, same thing. Any fractional part or the decimal part of a number will be closer to 0 to open 1. Then cot inverse is a decreasing function. Cot inverse 0 is 90 degrees and cot inverse 1 is 45 degrees. So cot inverse of fractional part of x, okay, is from cot 1 to cot 0 I should write. Now I am applying cot inverse, right? So I should write cot inverse 1 first and then cot inverse 0. This is open and this is closed. And this is pi by 4 and that is pi by 2. Okay. So cot inverse 0 is 90 degrees and cot inverse 1 is 45, and because 1 is open, 45 is open. And for that we have to add pi by 2 now. That is the question. Cot inverse fractional part of minus x plus pi by 2. That will belong to when add pi by 2. It will be pi by 4 plus pi by 2 and pi by 2 plus pi by 2, which is 3 pi by 4 to pi. So minimum is open 3 pi by 4, maximum is closed pi. That is the range of f of x. Okay, some questions, some parts of trigonometry may be easy because there is a simple formula, just use it, don't worry what is the significance and all. Some questions very carefully need some idea about how to do it in a particular way, or it is not just a formula, you should have some maturity about the function, you should have some idea about the graph or how the values are changing and all that. That part somebody may feel a little bit of difficulty. With using it more times will give you a better confidence. Anybody doubt about 22?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to erase 20. Anybody any doubt or not clear about any part of it?
Sir, once explain the first step, sir.
First step, sin inverse of something plus cos inverse of something. If both are same, it is pi by 2, right?
Yes, sir. Means from that to next step.
From that to next step, the question is f of x equal to cot inverse this plus sin inverse fractional part of x plus cos inverse fractional part of x. That part I wrote pi by 2 I'm saying. You have to see the question, not just the solution here. First of all, you should have seen the
question. I saw, sir.
Okay. In the question, there are 3 terms. This is the first term. The second and
Yes,
third
sir.
term put together is pi by 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, that's what is this. How to find range? This is a fractional part of symbol. Fractional part of whatever you take is between 0 to 1. When you apply cot inverse, because it's a decreasing function, it will be between cot inverse 1 to cot inverse 0. That is pi by 4 to pi by 2. Then I have to add pi by 2. If I add pi by 2, I have to add pi by 2 here, pi by 2 here. So I added pi by 2 everywhere. So this alone is between 45 to 90. By adding 90, it will be between 135 to 180. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, 22. If you look at 2, 8, 18, 32, you want to guess the nth time, you can guess, provided you see 2 as 2 into 1, 18 as 2 into 9, and 18, so in between 8 is there, 8 as 2 into 4, next 32 as 2 into 60. You can see this is 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square. So you can understand 2 into 1 square is the first time, 2 into 2 square is the second time, 2 into 3 square, 2 into 4 square, 2 into n square. If you did not notice that, not an issue. 2, 8, 18, 32. The gap between these two is 6. The gap between these two is 10. The gap between these two is 14. You can see 6, 10, 14 are in arithmetic progression. Okay. The original numbers are not in arithmetic progression because the differences are not equal. The differences are in AP. I said how to deal with such question. You write 2 as 2 only. You write 8 as 2 plus 6. 18 as 2 plus 6 plus 10. And 32 as 2 plus 6 plus 10 plus 14. So you can see for this we added 4 here. For this we added 4. So your nth term, this is 1 term of an AP, this is 2 terms of AP, this is 3 terms of AP, this is 4 terms of AP. The nth term itself will be n terms of AP. 2 plus 6 plus 10 plus 14, so on. The first term is 2 and common ratio is 4 and n terms. So n by 2 into 2 times 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into common distance 4. You can cancel 2, you will get n into 2 plus 2n minus 2. Minus 2 will cancel. Finally, 2n square. Either if you are able to guess, fine. If instead of that you do all this work, finally we'll know the nth term is 2n square. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now the whole question is sigma. They wanted up to n terms or infinite terms. They want infinite, but we'll do up to n terms only. Sn is equal to sigma k equal to 1 to n 2k square. Sorry, cot inverse 2k square. That is sigma k equal to 1 to n tan inverse 1 by 2k square. If I directly add 1 here, subtract 1 here, I will not be able to write it this a product of two things and the difference is this x minus y by 1 plus xy. So what I am going to do, sigma k equal to 1 to n, I will write tan inverse 2 by 4k square. That I can write sigma k equal to 1 to n tan inverse 1 plus 4k square minus 1, I can write 2k plus 1 into 2k minus 1, whose difference is exactly 2, which is 2k plus 1 minus 2k minus 1. So it's just a matter of getting an idea that, first of all, you have to find nth term. That itself is one easy method is there, one long method is there. Okay, guessing and finding the pattern or really finding AP and do it. After that, normally we just add 1 and subtract 1 because we want 1 plus xy here. 1 in the denominator is very, very important. But 2k square minus 1, there is no way to split such a way that I can write 1 like that. So next option is you have to get an idea that I have to multiply 2 here, and then I have to add 1, subtract 1 and write like this. Now it is nicely in the form of x minus y by 1 plus xy. Okay, so that is sigma k equal to 1 to n tan inverse 2k plus 1 minus tan inverse 2k minus 1. Okay, if you put k equal to 1, it is tan inverse 3 minus tan inverse 1. If you put k equal to 2, it is tan inverse 5 minus tan inverse 3. Next, tan inverse 7 minus tan inverse 5. Finally, it is tan inverse 2n plus 1 minus tan inverse 2n minus 1. When I cancel all these things like this, I will get this is tan inverse 1. Okay. So this is up to n terms. Now when n becomes infinity, this will become infinity and tan inverse infinity is pi by 2. So S infinity is pi by 2 minus tan inverse 1 and tan inverse 1 is pi by 4. Pi by 2 minus pi by 4 is pi by 4. Okay, I'm sure 22 many of you completed already, but those who did not complete or somewhere small doubt is there. I hope it is clear now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt about 24? Anybody? No, that's good. Okay, single answer done. More than one answer, second question. Anybody any doubt?
Sir, 24th one I'm having.
Okay.
Don't delay, sir. I'm
I-
waiting it.
Okay. I think I ended up with doing most of the even numbers in the class except for 3-4 questions.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, after you try, if I discuss it, is better than myself telling before you try. It doesn't help you to improve your subject. Yeah, every even number I'm ready to discuss, provided you tried. And it's not that all even numbers everybody has doubt. Somebody has doubt about 20, somebody has doubt about 18. They're different people, so not an issue.
Some questions we got up to half and there we didn't get how to proceed, sir.
Yeah, just a small thing maybe missed something.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, 24. So obviously that 7, 19, 39, 67, we have to find a pattern. We can write 7 as 1 plus 6 and 19 as 1 plus 18. 1 plus 6, can we write it up out of two numbers whose difference is 4? Maybe, may not be. First of all, let us see the nth term. 7, 19, 39, 67. Okay, this gap is 12 and this gap is 20 and this gap is what is this? 40 means 28. So this gap is 8, this gap is 8. You can see nicely the difference are not equal, but they themselves are in AP. So again, same story. 7, 19 will write 7 plus 12 and 39 will write 7 plus 12 plus 20 and 67 will write 7 plus 12 plus 20 plus 28. Even though this is also nth time itself is like AP, but this gap is not matching with other gaps. This gap is 8, this gap is 8, but this gap is 5. So I want the here also gap to be 8. So I'm going to write the number I expect is 4 here. So I'm going to write 7 as 3 plus 4. This is 3 plus 4 plus 12. This is 3 plus 4 plus 12 plus 20. This is 3 plus 4 plus 12 plus 20 plus 28. Except for these three, here one number of an AP, here two numbers of an AP, here three numbers of AP, here four numbers of an AP. So the nth term will be 3 plus an AP of 4 plus 12 plus 20 plus 28, so on up to n terms. This is an AP with first term 4, so common difference is 8, n by 2 into 2a, 2 times 4, n minus 1 into common difference is 8. 2 to cancel, I'll get 4 plus, when I divide with 2, 4 and minus 4. So I'm getting 3 plus 4n square. I'm getting 3 plus 4n square. Okay, so 3 plus 4n square, when I put n equal to 1, I'm getting 7, n equal to 2, I'm getting 16 plus 3, 19, n equal to 4, n equal to 3, that is 6, everything is good. Okay, so each term is cot inverse. If I take reciprocal, you get tan inverse. So the question is now sigma k equal to 1 to n tan inverse 4 by 3 plus 4n square. But you know, I need to have 1 here. So, anyone want to give an idea how to proceed further? How to write in the form of x minus y by 1 plus xy?
So divide with 3.
Divide with 3 everywhere. Then it will become 1. What should I do with 4n square by 3? The answer is option C here, which is pi by 4 plus cot inverse 3. That is basically pi by 2 minus tan inverse 3 or something. If I put n equal to 4, okay. Okay, I need 1. So what did I miss? Something. The two answer is given in cot inverse. Okay, cot inverse I can write tan inverse 1 by 3, not a big issue. But they gave plus pi by 4. Previously we covered odd numbers. Okay. I can write 3 as 1 plus 2, but 2 plus 4 and square, how will I split? I'll not be able to split that.
Sir, we must write 3 as 4 minus 1, sir.
3 as 4 minus 1. Okay.
Yes, sir. We will get 4 by 4 plus 4x square minus 1, sir.
After that, we'll divide with 4 later on.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, you're asking us to divide with 4. Okay. We'll see.
Yes,
that.
sir.
Thank you. Who is that? Dinesh Chandu. Okay. 4. I want to write 3 as 4 minus 1 as he is saying. So I'll write 4 plus 4n square minus 1. Okay. I wrote 3 as 4 minus 1 plus 4 minus 1. Now I'll divide it 4 everywhere. It will be tan inverse 1 by 1 plus n square minus 1 by 4, which you can write n plus half into n minus half. Basically, earlier we got odd numbers. Now it is half of odd numbers. You can treat it like that also. Okay. I can write here just to save the place. This I can write sigma k equal to 1 to n tan inverse 4 by 4 plus 4n square minus 1. And this I can write 2n plus 1 into 2n minus 1 and then divided with 4. So it is sigma k equal to 1 to n 4k square anyway. 1 by 1 plus, I'll write 2k plus 1 by 2 and 2k minus 1 by 2. Okay. Now the difference of these two is exactly this one. It will like x minus y by 1 plus xy only. It will be sigma tan inverse 2k plus 1 by 2 minus tan inverse 2k minus 1 by 2. Okay, because of fractions, maybe we did not get that easily idea how to do it, but it's good. Okay. So now put k equal to 1, k equal to 2, so on. When you put 1, we'll get tan inverse 3 by 2 minus tan inverse 1 by 2. I will get tan inverse 3 by 2 minus tan inverse 1 by 2. Later on, tan inverse 5 by 2 minus tan inverse 3 by 2. And tan inverse 2n plus 1 by 2 is a 2k. It's okay. Tan inverse 2n minus 1 by 2. When I cancel all these things, and then I put n equal to infinity, this will become 5 by 2 minus tan inverse of. Okay. But they wrote cot inverse 3 because they might have simplified. Oh, we are not getting the direct answer. What they adjusted it. I'll tell you how they adjusted it. This pi by 2, I can write pi by 4 plus pi by 4 minus tan inverse 1 by 2. Okay. Pi by 4 plus, this is tan inverse 1 and this is tan inverse 1 by 2. When you simplify, these two together will come tan inverse 1 by 3. And that tan inverse 1 by 3 will become cot inverse 3. That's how it is pi by 4 plus cot inverse 3. They're not that directly will get pi by 4 plus cot inverse 3. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think so far all 24 is a little tricky in adjusting it. 22 also a little bit because you have to multiply 2 and divide with 2. Here the thing is you will not get 1 after dividing 4. You will get 1. Normally we expect to divide with 3 here, but which is not suitable. We are supposed to divide with 4 and then adjust it. Okay, I think we are not able to complete all the doubts today. I think further doubts will be little less. Okay. Shall we discuss other doubts tomorrow evening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll be there for a few minutes. If somebody is copying this, we're not going to discuss anything further. So if this doubt is clear, you can leave. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.